Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy, the DoorDash Revolution. Back again with another episode. I want to go ahead right quick and do this here. Tighten this up. We're not trying to end the strength. All right, let's try this again. Wow, there we go. Okay. This is crazy. We're not trying to end the strength. There it is. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. All right, look. Oh man, what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? All right, we back. We back. We back. We back. Having difficulty right now with my setup, but are we gonna still try to turn it? You know what? I might just leave it like this here vertical. I wanted to turn it horizontal, but maybe we need to leave it vertical. So, I got it upside down. There we go. It's not trying to hold. That's the thing. There we go. Hopefully it'll hold. Trying it there. There. All right. What I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk about something. We're going to put this banner in there. I thought I had already did that. There it is. Supposed to be going across the screen, evidently just staying still right now. As you see in the tickler down there, it said Grubhub deactivating drivers in New York. We talked about it. Grubhub driver rating update. We're going to talk about that. And the restaurant closures here in Memphis, Tennessee. As I was beginning to start my shift today, before I started the day, there have been some weird things that have been going on in Grubhub for about a week. I was at Premier level. I had to drop to Pro. From Pro, I had to drop down to Department. I said, they must be trying to do some kind of update. Screen looking different. When you first come on, you'll see that orange screen, and it went from a dark orange to a red. I said, what's really going on? You know, it's been doing it all this week, right? So we're going to talk about some things. This is my opinion. My opinion is that Grubhub in my area, I don't know about other cities, I don't know about other markets, but I know people talk about how slow it is in their markets, or they not making any money at all, so it's not even worth getting on the app, right? Then you got New York where they just, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. We're going to start with the deactivating of drivers in New York. We're just going to talk briefly about it. I'll show you which episodes to look at. I'll probably put them in the description. Be sure to go into the description box. I will put them there. They're not there right now because I haven't implemented the metadata. This information need to be put out right now. I don't have time to put all the metadata in within 2 hours of after this episode over with. I will put that metadata in. I will also put stuff in the end screen when it comes to the end of the videos that you need to look at and watch. All right. Grubhub losing a lot of customers in my market. You know, they're going to other platforms. You know, restaurant closures have a major impact in the Memphis market area. Reason why I said has that because I have experienced it. I know I'm not the only one experienced it. Some drivers are making more than others on this platform. Okay. But we running into problems that's hurting the market that I've been telling drivers for the last 3 or 4 years. Doing multi-apping on DoorDash, Grubhub, and UberEats. You know, during the pandemic, everything was so lucrative. You know, a lot of drivers got careless or sloppy, taking care of your client, taking care of your customers. Restaurants have gotten careless and sloppy, taking care of your customers and making sure you take care of your drivers as well as the customer that order supposed to go to. So in today's conversation that I'm putting out there today, a lot of customers that I had met, maybe right at 35 to 40% of them said they would not use the Grubhub app anymore due to the experience that they having issues with drivers as well as restaurants. Okay, drivers as well as restaurants. You know, we so often know about the glitches that happens on the app from the driver's side. Glitches also happen at the restaurants side. Glitches also happen on the customer side. There's been times the customer said, "Oh, they said you was 2 miles away, and you knocking on the door." We know that's a glitch. You know, of the driver's location. Sometimes the navigation system has a glitch as well. Okay, it's a whole lot of scenarios of problems and issues that never comes to our mind because we're not experiencing it from that side of the fence. We only know it from the driver's side. We don't know what the customer's going through on the customer side. Just like the customers don't know what us drivers go through. What about the restaurant side? You know, that's the reason why we're doing food reviews so we can get to the behind the scene information, okay, that may help us. So I got some stuff I want to share. No, I'm not trying to delete that stuff. Hold on. All right, let me go ahead and do this right quick. I need to be making sure I'm paying attention to the information I want to provide today. I want to do another episode to go into a deeper dive in what's happening here in Memphis. May or may not be happening in your market, but it's good to know this information. And let me go ahead and do this right quick. I want to make sure. Turn that volume down. I hope people can hear me pretty good. If not, I'll check myself. I want to go to I want to be able to see us. Okay, I see us right now. 2 people watching. Let me turn up, make sure I can hear myself. I can see us right now. There it is. We good right there. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to go into. It's a lot of things I want to talk about in this episode. So let's go ahead and talk about briefly Grubhub deactivating drivers. We already know Grubhub had been bought out by Wonder. There are some changes being made. And the changes being made due to why is this company losing money? Why is this company falling off the map? Why is this company not prosperous as it should be? Why is this company not meeting the needs and demands of quality service to the customer? They got to do some research. They got to do some case studies. They got to go through a whole lot of historical data. Yes, they're going to need AI to do all of this. Okay, so what we got to do to change how the way the platform been operating. All of that got to come into consideration, ladies and gentlemen. You know, they're starting off with deactivating drivers in New York. It may happen in other markets as well. It's no secret, ladies and gentlemen, about the pirates that are in our market. Okay, those that use multiple Grubhub accounts, fake and fraudulent accounts, are hurting the market. It's hurting Grubhub, it's hurting DoorDash, it's hurting UberEats, and it's hurting you as a driver, and you as a customer, and you as a restaurant operator. But we have dishonest people in the world. Everybody not dishonest, but we do, for a fact, have dishonest people in the world. in all walks of life. So it also spills over off into what we do as gig workers and independent workers. I'm not going to use the term independent contractors. Independent workers are what we are. What we got to understand is we live in an era now with all the changes that's taking place, restaurant closures, okay, customers not ordering on the apps anymore, the change of the seasons, that people have appetites when they want to order from the platform, and people going on vacation. The markets are being super saturated because now you have high school juniors and seniors, if they of age, on these platforms, college students on these platforms, school teachers on these platforms, people that's moving from different cities and states coming to your market on these platforms. And then we already talked about the fake multiple accounts, fraudulent multiple accounts that's really super saturating the market. Low supply and demand. In some markets, they have a summer slowdown on these apps. Okay, that's what we got to understand. I want to share some powerful information. Okay, a lot of content creators in the past talked about tips and tricks, cheat codes. This is not one of them channels, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to understand that. For the new viewers that's watching me for the very first time, we don't do tip and tricks. We don't do cheat codes. We do case studies and research on this channel here. Okay, we try to provide as much information that's going to be valuable for you. This is an informative channel that provides information and strategies. That's right, information and strategies. And hope that information will help you make better decisions for better opportunities to maximize your earnings. They laughed at me 3 and 4 years ago when I was talking about that. I'm hearing more and more content creators talking about strategies now, talking about you got to change your mindset. You got to change your perspective. I got a comment. Okay, let's see what that comment is. Hey, what's going on, Heidi? How you doing today? Appreciate you and the visiting us today. But Grubhub, a lot of people used to make a whole lot of money on Grubhub 2 and 3 years ago. I know I used to make a whole lot of money on Grubhub in a short amount of time. That's what these gig apps you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to make quite a bit of money in a short amount of time. The money we used to make in a short amount of time has doubled. We got to put more hours out there now. We got to use strategies now. We need the information so we can make the right decisions and have a strategy on how we want to maximize our earnings to make a profit on any of these apps. I talked about as a multi-app the difference between juggling apps versus stacking your apps. I'm thinking about doing some episodes, ladies and gentlemen, about juggling the apps. Episode on that. Stacking your apps, what's the difference? You see, knowing the difference can help you make more money. Doing the new era of this gig work that we do. Okay, it's good to multi-app. Having one one platform or one app per platform. That's what I'm trying to say. One app per platform. Okay, but you got to know how to stack your apps. Maybe between 6 a.m. to 7:45. DoorDash is real good in the morning time, and you want to hang around in coffee shops because that's the most lucrative app at that time. Okay. Then later on, between the hours where usually in the mornings, between breakfast and lunch, it usually be slower. There's another app you can get on, where you can make some money and maximize your earnings. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Creators in the past used to brag about active time, making $35 during active time. Didn't talk about total time. They said total time didn't matter. Yes, it does matter. We talked about that 3 to 4 years ago. I wouldn't want to be on the app, ladies and gentlemen, and I was only 4 hours and show you that I made $40 in 4 hours active time, but I was actually had the app turned on for 13 hours. Something wrong with that picture there. You see, that's juggling your apps. You got them all turned on. Okay, doing those hours, you're not making money on it. You just got the app turned on. Okay, so we started showing people in the case study how to reduce that time to, if you do 4 hours on the app active, you did 5 or 5.5 hours total time, which is dash time. All right, and the numbers are more realistic. You made $35 per hour for them 4 hours. In 5.5 hours, it drops to $20 an hour, or maybe 25. Anything that's under $20 an hour doing your total time, you're not making a profit, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers begin to find out total time does matter. Okay, so now we're in an era where you got to do double the time on these apps. Total time does matter. You don't want to be on the app and just have it on and you making money on two other apps. You might as well not even have them apps on. And you got one phone, maybe two. It's gonna glitch your phone. It's gonna glitch. Your phone gonna start glitching. You're gonna be missing better opportunities or good orders. You may even miss large orders and catering orders using the juggling the apps method. But if you stack your apps, you won't have as many glitches on the apps because you're overloading your phone. Whether it's iPhone or Android, you're overloading your phones, ladies and gentlemen. Creating glitches on your own app, keeping you from making the money you need to make. We will be doing episodes on that. Okay. So when you stack your apps, you're making more money. You're profiting off of each platform. You're not gonna have that app on knowing you're not making money. You're gonna be, why would you have it interfere with it giving you lowball offers while you're on another app, interfering with you maximizing your earnings on that app? Okay, pay attention to the common sense things that I'm coming with you with. We got to change our mindset. We got to change the way we do things. We got to look at our historical data, ladies and gentlemen. Study our historical data. You got to start using customer apps as a resource tool on each platform that you own. If you own Grubhub, you need to also be familiar with the customer app. If you own DoorDash, you need to also be familiar with the customer app. If you own UberEats, you need to know how to utilize the customer app. It's a lot of powerful information in there. I talked to the Phoenix driver earlier. He said, you know what? When you utilize that customer app, it shows discounts that customers are getting for certain restaurants. That's some powerful information as a resource to knowing I can go over here at PetSmart right now because a lot of customers at a certain time of the season of the month getting these special discounts and everything. I can maximize my earnings on that app because I want to know what my customers are shopping for. Let me use a prime example. In rideshare, you utilize that customer app, you can see where the other drivers on Lyft is located at. Other drivers on Uber Eats located at. I used to use it at the airport to know how many drivers was off over there. in the airport on Lyft and Uber. Powerful resource tools, ladies and gentlemen, using customer apps. Once again, I use information and strategies. When you get this information and you check the historical data of this information, of your resource tools, you're going to come up with a strategy to make better decisions for better opportunities to maximize your earnings, ladies and gentlemen. Not be spinning your wheels out here chasing money that you're not getting. That's what we provide. Information, strategy. With information, you can make better decisions on how you can make the most money on each app. If you're on an app that's not making money, you know you don't need to have that app on. Why are you letting that app be just empty space in your space, interfering with the app that you're trying to make money on? Had you ever noticed when you have all the apps turned on at the same time, when one of them hit you with a halfway decent order, three more apps hit you with some orders at the same time? That's juggling your apps, and you're on one device, overloading your device, losing maximum opportunities to make a profit on that platform that you use. It's just common sense. Okay, enough on that. So they deactivating drivers in Manhattan, New York, and Grubhub's told the reason why they doing. Too many fake multiple Grubhub accounts. There are more other reasons besides that, but they said that's their main reason, their main pet peeve. We're going to talk about Grubhub deactivation policy. I wanted to do it in today's episode, might be in the next episode. We want to talk about maybe the update information on Grubhub deactivating policy, right? That's what we need to be doing. You know, we got to study these things, ladies and gentlemen. I know people sit up there saying, "Oh, he always saying this and saying that." That's what's wrong with us. We get too biased against the content creator, and we don't take the valuable information that person put their hard work in and give to their viewers. There's enough money out there for everybody to make, but when it starts becoming a situation, you got to put in some work. You know, you got to come up with creative ideas how you can get your tips when they normally not tipping. Okay, we talked about provide customer service so many times. It should be pre-programming your thinking now. If you've been listening to this channel, better business etiquette, quality customer service, excellent professionalism, great communication goes a long ways in this business, ladies and gentlemen, to keep you in business. To keep you in business. We can't keep taking these things for granted. We did during the pandemic because it was so lucrative. The money, we could make it fast. So we didn't have to consider those things. Now you're going to have to consider those things. There's certain markets. You got top tier markets out there. Phoenix is one of them. LA is another one. Miami is another one. I know I left out other cities. We talked about the top 10 for DoorDash. Yes, we did. I might put that link in here. So when you look at the replay, you can go in the link in the description box or on the end screen at the ending of the show. And you can say, okay, let me look at that information right there. He's talking about it over there. Let me look at it. Let me digest it. It ties into what's happening today. I said that a lot of content creators' content will be obsolete, including mine, unless you talk about decision making. You talk about information that would help you make decisions where you can make so you can come up with strategies or a business plan on maximizing your earnings for a profit. Now, those type of videos not going to be outdated because you're constantly talking about decisions that you got to make. We make wrong decisions, we make right decisions. Okay, you got needy drivers out here, you got greedy drivers out here. They both have a comparison, desperation, trying to pay that bill, trying to pay that rent. You're desperate now. You're not to do anything desperate to make that money so you can pay that bill. That's why they both have a comparison, desperation. All right. So this is what I want to show. I want to show this here. I want to go to my photos, hoping that I can show it. I want to go to my photos, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, before we go to the photos, no, we're going to go to the photos because we're going to talk about this new update. It's new to me because I've never seen it before. All right. That's a picture of your boy right here, if you can see it. That's a picture of your boy. Something changed on that page there. And I'm going to blow it up. As you can see after I blowed it up, you see up under the level right there, partner level, you see a 4.8 with a red star saying view ratings. Real-time stats last updated and the next update. The next update is for the level, what tier level you're going to be in. That second update, ladies and gentlemen, is a real-time stats, as you can see it right there. Okay. I hope the reflection of the glass is not messing up where you can't really see it. Real-time stats, ladies and gentlemen, last updated 12:48 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. That was the day. I looked, I said something new is there. I'm going to point to what's new. This is what's new where I got my finger at. It's my first time seeing this. Have any of you drivers seen this on the Grubhub app? Now, Major asked me in the comments section, I might as well say Grand Slam of the Week comment. What tier level are you at? I'm paraphrasing what he's saying. What tier level are you on there? You know, he was asking me, was I a premier driver? I was a premier driver 3 weeks ago. Scored, my ratings tanked. Those my ratings right here. My ratings tanked. Okay, offer commitment, on time arrival, schedule commitment, which is the blocks. All right, you can see it because I sit there and I expanded it. My on time rating, ladies and gentlemen, was at a 94 3 weeks ago. My offer commitment, ladies and gentlemen, was at a 94 3 weeks ago. Schedule commitment is 100%. I'm gonna make sure it stay 100% too when I'm on block. Okay. Now, how did it tank so fast? All right, we're going to show you. Hopefully, I'm going to the community post. I'm going to show you. Matter of fact, I should have a photo of one. All right, here we go. We're going to expand this too. I'm getting too many of them orders right there, ladies and gentlemen. Those orders right there, if you can see it. Let me see, can I? Screen kind of dirty. So there it is. You can see it now because I done expanded it a little bit more. All right. Happy Mexican, $17.39, 22.3 miles. going from Southeast Memphis all the way to North Fraser. I already know who that customer is. In one of my videos, I talked about that customer wasn't going to get me like that anymore. All right. I have done this order before. All right. I know by looking at this, I know who the customer is and where the location is. I can't make money accepting orders like this. I'm getting them on Premier Pro level. Something not right versus last year. When I was on Premier, I didn't see orders like that. When I was on Pro, I only seen a few of them orders like that there. I can understand if I'm on partner level, I should be seeing orders like that there. That don't mean I gotta take them, but I may have to choke some of them if I'm trying to get up to the next level. I'm seeing them on Pro. I'm seeing them on Premier. Reason why the score got tanked. I made a phone call. What's going on here? I should have called before now. What's going on? I understand if I was at partner level seeing orders such as that. I have been told, is it correct that you got to be inside the hotspot to get orders? I done found out that's not true. When orders like this come on the screen, that type of order right there, I'm 7 miles to almost 9 miles away from the restaurant. Why is I'm getting them orders when I'm right here where the hotspot is? Something not right about that picture. I'm going to do research. I'm going to do case study. Once I find out the answers, you're going to know about it, ladies and gentlemen. One thing, you got multiple fake Grubhub accounts out there, multiple fraudulent Grubhub accounts out there, ladies and gentlemen. Oversaturating a certain zone to where you can't go over there and get over there. Certain groups done took a hostile takeover, and the only groups you see is those same people. Nobody else can get over there. That's an indication of somebody using fake multiple accounts, fraudulent accounts, and using bots. We talked about that before. All right. I'm telling you from experience. I did 3 years of case studies, 4 years of case studies, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I'm talking about. We get to the bottom of things. All right. With that happening, let's see, can I find another? That's on another app. I had a conversation about that order too. I'm gonna talk about it. This is on another platform. I had a conversation about this order here. People gonna already know what's up when I show it. Just like that, for instance. I blowed it up big as I can. I hope you can see it. All right. This is a DeliverThat order. I talked to 2 or 3 drivers about the same order before they finally come to me. Get a pickup in South Haven, going to Hernando. 15.9 miles, $25.90. Now, if you coming from Germantown, Collierville, if you live in that area, Bartlett and everything, that's going to double, going to be about 30 miles, ladies and gentlemen. That's not profitable for drivers. I'm going to leave it like that. We're going to have to do an episode on that there. So we're not complaining. We just showing facts and proof, ladies and gentlemen, on how more of these orders and offers are out there. Customers are not tipping like they used to. One, they don't have to tip like they used to. All right. I want it so bad, I'm going to have to put it in the description of the reason why customers not tipping. What all the scenarios, the reason customers are not tipping. That video talked about everything on the chart from drivers, merchants, and customers. I will put it in the description box. You come back and look at the replay. If you don't want to look at the video, at least go to the description and look at the links that I'm going to put in there. It's going to be them links going to be powerful information that's going to be related to what I'm talking about. The reason why a lot of drivers not making money on certain apps during certain seasons of the year in a market near you. Information and strategies what we talk about on this channel here. No tips and tricks, no cheat codes. Hard work and dedication to research and case studies that will provide you the factual information of the experience of a driver in these streets and what they experiencing and sharing their experience with you. Because just like a driver, like me, you may be experiencing the same thing in your market. This will be information you can definitely use. Those who ain't going through the hell week or whatever in your market, it can still be a valuable resource for you as well to reach your next level and your next level. You see, that's what we try to do. Okay, let's finish talking about this thing here. I want to share with my viewers that's watching today. All right, let me go ahead and pull up. Trying to see that I find another, and here's another one. Blow it up. All right, you're gonna see Germantown, which is right here, going here. All right, that's 16.5 miles for $11.48, ladies and gentlemen. The problem is there's no hotspot right here. I'm being taken away from a hotspot, going to an area there's not a hotspot. Then once you get over there, you get hit, ladies and gentlemen, with the $5, $7, $6 order. We're not even talking about the 2, 3, and 4. We're talking about the 5, 6, and 7-digit order. $5, $6, $7 orders that's not going to make you money during the hour. Okay, so you going over here in the area over here, you may get more orders, but they pay a whole lot less. Okay, those from Memphis know this area here. Those from Memphis know when we said the loop, that's the loop. If you look at it, you see how it's outlined there? It's the loop. I work in that area, right in that area where I can make my money. I know when not to go over there also because you're not going to make any money. Okay. So this is proof, ladies and gentlemen. You can see Bartlett right there. Okay. And you can see Highway 51. All right. Panda Express, $11.48, 16.5 miles. Taking you from an area where it's hot and the fish is biting to an area where no fish biting at all. Why would you take an order like that? Unless you multi-apping and you got UberEats banging downtown, then of course Let that app lead you to making more money on another app. That's called app stacking. Or I'm going in the area now that, man, I'm finna light it up on UberEats. Or, man, I'm finna light it up on rideshare. Or I'm finna light it up with Roadie. Or I'm going to light it up with Walmart Spark. We already know you're not finna light it up over there with no Walmart Spark. Us Memphians know that. Okay. I'm showing you photos where I don't have to go to my community post, but it's also in the community post too, ladies and gentlemen. I've been putting some things in the community post. Check out the information I'm putting in the community post. All right. Now, this is the next big thing we get ready to talk about. That's hurting the Grubhub market. And I will have to go to the community post on this next topic we are talking about. Restaurant closures, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to blow it up a little bit like that right there. You may be able to see it, you may not be able to see it. I can push it a little closer, or put it back a little bit so you can see it better. See, I got these windows here going to kind of mess up the reflection. I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to put it in the community post as well. Several Memphis restaurants have closed in the past few months. Some notable closures include Come Back Coffee downtown location, Elwood Shack on Park, Half Shell at Southwind. I'm not that far from that area over there. The Chicken Shack in South Haven. Chicken Shack had just opened up a year ago. Just opened a year ago. DoorDash drivers was going in there, UberEats drivers was going in, Grubhub drivers was going over there. Now that's a restaurant that is closed. If you're multi-apping, you can't make money from them clients anymore that order from that place on none of those three apps. You see how serious this is beginning to get? Bahama Breeze. We talked about these things. Now let me go to but it's way more than that. I'm going to the community post. Show you how serious it's getting here in my market. With this information, man, you're gonna have to do some nitty gritty. You're gonna put some work in. You're gonna have to know how to use your navigation apps like Waze and Google Maps for a resource tools on how you're gonna have to make the right decision with that information and your resource tools with your customer apps on how you can maximize when you are stacking your apps as a multi-app. When to turn it on, when to turn it off. Believe that. Okay, let's go ahead and do this, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to go to my page. We're going to go to the community post. All right, I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing something goofy again. Hold on. Do this here. Do it like that there. Okay, we're going to go to the post. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I did this an hour ago. Go to that post there. That's the same information I showed you today, right? We're going to scroll down. Another Grubhub long distance order. Drivers, do yourself a favor. Don't take these orders. I showed you that today. That's in the community post as well. Scroll down. Restaurants closing that affect delivery drivers are Swanky Taco Shop, Wild Beats, Edible Arrangements, Petra Cafe. Right there, I'm taking pictures of the restaurants that's closed, ladies and gentlemen. As you scroll to each one, as you scroll to each one, as you scroll to each one. Okay, you can't see it real good here due to the reflection. What you can do, you can go to the community post when it says 3 days ago. You can see it. I'm showing proof, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about this a little bit for right now. I'm going to tell you what apps are affected right now from those restaurants. DoorDash, Grubhub, UberEats, DeliverThat. I'm a multi-apper. If I have 5 of those apps that I'm multi-apping on, it doesn't cancel me out over here in that area because they're not in business anymore. Some of my most prestigious high-end clients was ordering from over there. Wild Beach, you do DeliverThat and deliver. Catering orders, DoorDash, catering orders, Uber Eats, XL orders, DoorDash, not DoorDash, but Grubhub, XL, large orders. My Grubhub clients, ladies and gentlemen, my best high-end clients. I'm losing business now. Some of them restaurants have virtual kitchens. I have repeated clients, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I done lost some repeated clients over here. Over here. Okay? Got the proof. I will be showing more proof. Okay? In my community posts. Are there new restaurants open up in this area? Yeah, there's new restaurants open up in this area. Okay. Yeah, we got some new restaurants open up in the area. I may mention a few of them. That's why I do food reviews. Now you begin to understand why food reviews complement food delivery drivers making money in this business here. Okay, where I will have spot on interviews with merchants. Okay, you will hear the backstory and some information that's going to help turn the light bulb on in your dark room, the where you're going to start maximizing your earnings. Okay, my customers, I got customers that are subscribers on this channel. They see me eating at some of the same establishments that they order from. That's the driver they gonna want. So when I start working that strategy in, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna change things. I gotta go back to the picture I showed you earlier. It's gonna change those ratings right there. Those ratings gonna improve. This is a good thing that Grubhub has done right there. That's a good thing that Grubhub has done right there. Let me do this here. This is a good thing that Grubhub has done. Right here, here we go. Where you can really see it, I'm finna blow that bad boy up. So Grubhub doing driver ratings now, ladies and gentlemen. They give you a review breakdown. All right. There is 139 reviews right there. And it's going to tell you which categories. I got 123 5-star ratings, 10 4-star ratings, 4 3-star ratings, 1 2-star rating, 1 1-star rating. We need to know that information right there. Then it got also on other resources. You can look up what they talked about on how to improve. Okay. How do your ratings look? Or how do your ratings work on Grubhub? So check if you do have the Grubhub app and see had this update been implemented on your platform in your market. If it hasn't, go ahead and do the troubleshooting steps. Force stop, clear cache, reopen the app, log out, close out, uninstall, reinstall. Before you sign back in, restart your phone. Don't shut your power totally off. Restart your phone, which is going to reboot your phone, and these updates going to take place. This app will be doing a lot of updates. A new company done bought out Grubhub. There will be updates. They're cracking down on fraudulent and fake multiple accounts. You see the driver ratings. We should have a driver rate. We need to know our customer feedback. We need to know what customers are telling them. Now we know. Okay. So I looked up some stuff. I'm trying to make sure I got it right here. All right. Grubhub driver ratings. We're going to go over that right there. Grubhub driver ratings are explained. We're going to talk about that today. It was updated 27 minutes ago by the driver marketing group. Your ratings can help you understand how much your customers value your service. Ding, 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 ding. The key to making more money, the opportunity to maximize your earnings so you can start making a profit is on that page right there. How many times have I told you, viewers? Better business etiquette, quality customer service, which is the customer experience, excellent professionalism, great communication. You're getting ready to get graded by it now. Grubhub drivers. How your ratings is calculated. Think of your ratings like a running average of all star ratings you receive for your service in the last 365 days. We're going to do some more research about this here. Step one, giving feedback. After each order, both the restaurant staff and the diner have a chance to rate your service 1 to 5 stars. Did you hear what I just said here? Don't see what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. Did you hear what I just said just then? What I read to you? I'm going to read it again. Step one, giving feedback. After each order, both the restaurant staff and the diners have a chance to rate your service from 1 through 5. I'm letting it soak in before I say something else. On Grubhub, we talking about Grubhub. Step two, adding it up. Grubhub takes all the star ratings you receive in the past 365 days and calculate the average. This average is your overall driving rating. Step three, exclusions. We exclude low ratings on deliveries that were already going to be late. One more time. We exclude low ratings on deliveries that were going to be late. I got a question on this here. As a Grubhub driver, because I'm finna add a little bit of sauce on this here. Those who do Grubhub, been on the Grubhub app, rather you single apping, which I don't know any driver doing that for Grubhub. Unless you're up there in New York, you're multi-apping when you utilize Grubhub. Grubhub is a side piece app. Okay. How many times, ladies and gentlemen, that when you receive stack orders, double, triple, quadruple, add on, and you get no order, one of them orders already late. Already, you're going to be late. My question is, why don't you set the timer when the driver receive all these orders and set a timer so the driver won't be hit for being late? Because you know when you be penalized for being late, I got to go back to my statistics of my ratings so I can explain this to you. Then we're going to go back to this. The question I was presenting is, if you're going to do that, you need to take care of this other side of the fence. Derail, what are you talking about? We're going to do this here. We're going to go backwards. Go backwards. Right here. My rating. That rating right there. Blow it up so you can really see it. On time arrival rating. Stack order. The first two. I'm there on time. I got an add-on. Then once I'm going to that restaurant, I get another add-on. Now I got 4 orders. I'm late going to the third and fourth order. Then I get penalized here. My rating start going down. I'm telling you what I've already have experienced. Not what I heard, not who I conversate with, my experience. So I can give you a perspective with facts. That's why I'm asking that question. If you're going to exclude it on the customer end, why you can't adjust the time to the actual time we're going to be there? They got some kinks they got to work out of this system here. They've been trying to work kinks out for the last year. They still got a lot of work to do. But I do applaud them for the effort of trying. I really do. Especially for the honest drivers out here trying to make a living too. All right. So the stats are based on your activities over the last 14 days. Your program level is based on the lowest of your performance. All right. That's very imperative when you're doing Grubhub. As you see now, up on the partner level, you're going to see a score, red star, saying view ratings. You can tap that button right there and you'll be able to view your rating. You'll be able to view it. Okay. D-Rev, you really telling some powerful information in this live stream? Yes. Yes. And I'm gonna have my homework cut out for me when I do my metadata, because we're almost at an hour now. I'm getting lit up everywhere now. Talk about excited riding on the cloud. Good news there, my brother doing good with the information and strategies he's coming up with on maximizing his earnings in another state. He took his circumstances, changed his mindset. He making money now. Not on my account. He's doing it with his own mind, and he's telling me the fruits of his labor, and he's making better decisions for better opportunities to maximize his earnings and make a profit. Yes, he is. All right. I want to talk about back there. That was my question. Step 3, the exclusion. We excluded low ratings on deliveries that were already going to be late. Going to be late. If you're going to exclude those ratings that's going to be late, are you going to implement that in the rating for the on time arrival to the restaurant? That was the question, ladies and gentlemen. When you accept them because it was not your fault, we need to see the change right there. I hadn't seen the change yet. It's still updating though. Okay. And this Grubhub Driver Rating Explained was updated 27 days ago. I hadn't seen the difference in that yet, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm presenting the question right now. Step 4, fresh data. Your ratings is updated daily. As a new rating comes in and the older ratings over a year are removed. Something being said, we need to catch on there. Over a year are removed. I got some questions about that. This means your rating can naturally go up and down slightly over time. I got some questions. I see some flaws in this here, but I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm going to give it a good 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I want to see how this transpires, how it will affect you and me. We can discuss it on this channel here because I believe I'm the first driver and content creator you didn't heard this from. I might be wrong. Correct me, put it in the comments there. Don't worry if you have lower ratings when you haven't received many reviews or just starting out. That's for the new drivers with fewer ratings. Each new rate has a bigger impact on your average. As you complete more deliveries, newer drivers, and receive more positive feedback, customer feedback, from the merchants as well as from the diners, which is your customer, your ratings will become more stable and better reflect your consistent service quality. We understand that sometimes things happen beyond your control. We will not penalize you for an actual on an occasional low rate. However, consistent low rate may lead to suspension of the platform, ladies and gentlemen. So drivers in New York, everywhere else, we're getting deactivated now. These new policies, were they implemented in your market before you got deactivated? I don't know. I can't say. I can't assume. I can't speculate, but I'm asking these questions. That's why I'm going to be going over the Grubhub deactivation policy, whether it be on long form video or we back on live doing it again. However, consistent low ratings may lead to suspension of platform access. If you consistently rated poorly, make sure to check your help page on how to improve your ranking links. There the information is right there. I'm quite sure there's going to be some more content creators talk about this one. I guarantee it. Because they're going to want to provide you more information than I provided today. I guarantee it. So we just scratched the surface of this right here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're multi-apper and you use the Grubhub platform app, I suggest that you find out what's going on and update your app. I'm going to look in the comment section, see what's being said right now. This is some powerful information. This is going to be a game changer. Whether you lose your account or you keep your account. Okay. Let me go ahead and check out what the viewers are saying. Okay. Let me go. Make sure I got it turned off. I want to go to the live chat. That's what I want to see right now. Major Delivery in the house. Appreciate you being here. Latanya Smith in the house. Appreciate you being here as well. I don't know if you from my area or not. I hope that you are. And if you are, I hope that you get some powerful information going on. You know, you may be from a community that likes to look at food reviews. I don't know if there's anybody that's in here that's been looking at the food reviews. We'd like to hear from you. Say hi to us and say, yeah, I watch your food review content. Now, my food review content gonna connect the dots, ladies and gentlemen, with restaurants, merchants, retail stores, customers, the consumer. All of us are consumers. All of us are customers. So we try to bridge the gap there. So if there's things you want the DoorDash revolution to talk on, topics to talk on, with food reviews, restaurants, delivery driving, restaurant closures, and all of this, or closures I have forgot to talk about in today's episode or the next episodes, be sure to feel free to put them in the comments there so we can provide that information for drivers that won't be wasting their time going into zones they're not going to make any money in due to restaurant closures. All right. So that's powerful information there. Utilize Google Waze, Google and Waze navigation for a resource tool. It's a lot of powerful information there. I can go right now. Let's go to Google. I can go to Google right now. And I showed this in episodes before. I'm going to find those videos and link them to these type of videos in the description and on the end screen. All right, you go there. You can barely see it. Can I blow it up? I can't blow it up no more than the map itself. You got home, restaurant, shopping, coffee, gas. Then you got the icon that looks like a closed book over here. And we talked about using satellite mode at night. Still frame pictures, but it's going to have the address on top. We talked about them videos in, zip codes, and stuff like that. I'm going to bring some of that back information and start linking it in. It was a great idea from one of the subscribers and delivery driver I deal with. You need to bring that back so people don't have to go so deep to look for it, and they can see it on that video, and then they can go there and say, okay, this is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. These videos that you did 2 to 3 years ago, they're still relevant for today. And I'm gonna honor that request. That's a great idea. Thank you, Phoenix Driver. All right, you go to restaurant, and it shows this, right? We're gonna take you a little step forward. Go to the filter. The filter gonna be over here. I can't blow this up where my finger is. Or you can follow along, do the same thing. Hit that filter. That filter gonna show you the ratings of the restaurant, the hours when it's open, the different cuisines you can go to. It's gonna show you that stuff there, ladies and gentlemen, right? All right, suppose you know, okay, this is a certain time. People gonna be ordering a lot of barbecue. Let me tap barbecue. I want to go to the 4.5 star, and I'm gonna hit apply. I hit apply, and I see all the 5-star barbecue restaurants. I'm gonna go to my Grubhub Customer App. I'm gonna go to TripAdvisor. Okay, see what the top 100 restaurants is, top 25, and top 10. See if any of them on this list here. Then I'm gonna check my Grubhub, DoorDash customers, Grubhub customers app, UberEats customer app, and do the same thing. Information that provides strategy is what this channel is all about. No tips over here, no tricks over here. Information that provides strategies. From the information that you receive, what I gave you today, going to help you make better decisions for better opportunities to maximize your earnings for profit. There's a way you can use Waze offering this thing too as a resource tool. I'll be coming up with up and coming episodes that's going to give you some jewels and gems that's going to turn your light bulb on in the dark room. Still complaining about making money, you're going to have a plan on how to make a profit. Decision making is the number one factor, but you got to change your mindset to be willing to receive information that's going to give you the opportunity to make better decisions, the right decisions versus the wrong decisions. You're going to start making better decisions for better opportunities to maximize your earnings, to make a profit. I put in a whole lot of jewels in this episode today because we have an information channel over here. We provide information and strategy. Once again, we don't do tips and tricks or flips because we're not in the circus. You understand what I'm saying? So that we just scratched the surface though. It's up to you to dig deeper and find out more. Why would you have a toolkit, ladies and gentlemen? You don't never use the tools in the toolbox. That's a fact. I'm provide you a lot of information there that I talked about 3 and 4 years ago. That a lot of drivers are making money with today. A lot of content creators are making money today too. I'm getting all kind of notifications that let me know time on the wall says almost time for us to go. I'm put a lot of information out there. Re-look at this live, this replay. I know it's going to take me more than 2 hours though to put in my timestamps, which are chapters in the description box. It's going to have subtopics that you can go in there. Look at that. Links to the descriptions of where you can go look at these videos that said this is the resources he got this information from. Powerful information, okay? To help you make money in your market. You know, we discussed some powerful things. I want to look at the live chat one more time before I go. You know, see that I don't want to miss anybody. There'll be times I do miss people. We human. Okay, so we got Latanya Smith, Major Delivery, Mighty Heidi Dream Warrior. Appreciate all you from coming over here. Folks that didn't say anything, people that lurking, watching, they ain't learning. Their content creators come over here and watch stuff too. I know, because when they do their videos, I mean, like, aha, I hear a little bit me in them. So that's what happens when you give information. It helps people. It makes them think. It takes them to another level. where they provide the best content they can provide for you. We just glad that we can be able to be a part of that. That's not bragging, ladies and gentlemen. They let you know that your work is not in vain. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. So I commend those that learn something and then they put out even better information out there to help their viewers and subscribers and all that. That's where we wanted it in the first place. So you will be seeing more food reviews. We're supposed to have a food truck festival going on this weekend. Trying to decide if I'm gonna be there to make it. It depends on how much money I make this week. To be able to go provide that information, do what I call moment to moment interviews, which is on the spot interviews with a lot of these merchants and ask the question that drivers need to ask and customers need to ask. And hopefully we can provide that information when you hear them tell you what's really going on in these streets. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to end this episode. We're ready to get back out here in these streets. You know, we something going on with the Grubhub app with the update, been affecting the way I make money. And pay attention to these things, these new updates on all of these apps. You know, I just got through talking to DeliverThat representatives. There's going to be a lot of updates going on over there, and I'm spreading the word. Pay attention to all these updates going on all your platforms that you do business with your clients. Peace. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you in the next video.